What's up, YouTubers? Hungry Persian here. Want to do a quick video on a new purchase of mine. I recently have sold my 2017 Camaro SS, and I just picked up this bad boy. So, a lot of you guys may be asking, why would you sell the Camaro 2SS to get a Focus ST? And for me, I really like to experience a lot of different cars, and I'm really happy I was able to have a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 like the Camaro. And I had that car for a little over a year. But I wanted to move on to a new experience, and I really like the Focus ST because it gives you a good balance of an economical car, a fun and sporty car. It has a turbo, front wheel drive, torque vectoring, comes in a 6-speed manual. It has all the cool things and features that I wanted to experience next. And I'm really happy that I had the experiences that I was able to have with the Camaro. So let's get into this. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you what the exhaust sounds like. Right now the car is bone stock. I haven't done anything to it. This is how I got the car, and there's nothing done to it. So I want to show you guys what the exhaust sounds like. I'm going to do a couple low revs, mid revs, and a couple revs closer to the red line. So enjoy. Alright, so let's start here with the back of the car. The cool thing about this car, when I did pick it up, it did already come with tinted windows. That's something I was going to do anyway, so I was pleasantly surprised that the car had that. This car does have a rear view camera. It does have a kind of comically tiny screen in the front of the dash. We'll get there. And the reason for that is this is the ST1 model. There are 3 models of this car, the ST1, ST2, and ST3. The ST1 is the base model, and it's also the lightest one out of all the different trims as well. Right to the side of the camera is the button to open the hatch. And it does come with the cover to be able to protect the things that you have. And it also is connected here. You can see it's hydraulic, very easy to lift up. You have 2 easy handles that, you can do a couple of pull-ups over here, or makes it easy to close it. Pretty cool. You do have a decent sized trunk, very easy and comfortable grocery getter. In the ST2 and ST3 models, you do have a premium sound option, and there is a sub in this area where my hands are at currently, where in the ST1 it doesn't have that, so kind of frees up the trunk room by a little bit, not too much, but just thought I'd mention it. And next, let me show you guys what it looks like when you fold down the back seats, and you can really see how much trunk space you can have in this little hatch. So this is what it looks like with the seats folded down. You do have to remove the headrest on the 3 seats in the back. It doesn't fold completely flat, but it is good enough to open up some more space in case you wanted to transport something else in the back of this car. And right here you can see how much it folds down, and you can see that it doesn't fold completely flat, but that's about as far as it goes. Alrighty, we're here in the back seat of the Focus ST. I'm sitting straight up, and my head does touch when I'm sitting up like this. When I lean back and sit comfortably like this, my hair does touch, but my hair is a lot poofier than most, so my actual head does not touch the top. I am just under 6 feet tall, and I do have a decent amount of leg room. The cool thing about the ST1 is I think it doesn't have the same bolstering as the partial leather or full leather Recaros that are in the ST2 and ST3 models. The ST1, from what I've heard, is the seats are have less bolstering and take up less space. So that could be what's explaining me having a decent amount of leg room in the back seat of this Focus ST. Another thing I did notice is in the back you do have speakers on the doors over here, but there are no air conditioning vents in the back seat. So that's something that, you know, on a hot day like today, if I was sitting in the back seat of this car, I kind of wish that it would have had air conditioning vents. But there is actually surprisingly a lot of storage in the back of this car. Here in the middle console, if you come in over my lap over here, there is a very small cubby here. It goes to the length of my finger into the gap. You could maybe fit some spare change in there, or, you know, chapstick or something like that would be great there. You do have storage behind the seat in this little pocket. You have a pocket here where you can fit a water bottle, you know, a wallet can fit in there, decent amount of storage there. And there are two other side cubbies in the back seat of the ST. One is here at the bottom of the seat, and one's a little bit higher right next to me over here. So, and all of these do exist on the other side as well. So there's actually a lot of storage in the back of a Focus ST. So in most cars, when you want to pop the front hood, there is a latch right where my hand is currently. With the Ford Focus, it's kind of hidden on the side over here. So it's a little bit of an easier lever to pop. So in most cars, if you go down the middle of the emblem, the latch is usually over there. In the Focus, it's located to the left here, and it's marked in yellow. Easy to see, easy to pull latch. Here under the hood of this Ford Focus ST, this is the last year that they made it in the United States, 2018. This model did start in 2013 to 2015, and this is the facelift that went from 2015 to 2018. They do have the newer facelift that came in 2019 to currently, and that is in Europe, not in North America, which is pretty sad, but I am happy to get a 2018 model. So under this bonnet, we have a 2-liter turbo powered with a front-wheel drive drivetrain and a 6-speed manual pushing 252 horsepower and about 270 pound-feet of torque, which for this little hot patch, it's a lot of power and it's enough to have fun with. Everything you can see in the bonnet is stock from the stock air box, the stock intake over here. You do have the engine cover. You can see it takes 5W30 oil, and you do have the dipstick reading for the oil right over here, making it very easy and very convenient. And if you take the top off with a little wiggle, and everything here, all of the spark plugs are right over here. The coil packs should be easy to do maintenance on it. You do have the intake manifold over here, and all of the belts on the side. Everything looks relatively easy to reach, you know, just by looking at it over here. So a few more facts and you know, rundown of this Ford Focus ST is it does have about a 12-gallon gas tank. It gets an EPA estimated 25 miles per gallon, and it does have a top speed of 155 miles per hour with a curb weight of about 3,200 pounds. So now we're behind behind the driver's seat and just wanted to show you what the inside of the ST1 model looks like. You do have the 6-speed manual. They also have a carbon fiber package, but I actually like this one a little bit more. It does have very deep cup holders, which is nice that you can fit any, size bottle or, big gulp or whatever you want to stick in there. And it does have 3 prongs that kind of have springs to them that help keep the cup stable. So I think they're pretty good cup holders. Inside of the middle dash segment, you do have a USB, and also you have a 12-volt charging port. There is a little segment right in the middle here, which there is another USB port and another 12-volt charging station. But I think this was designed for a cell phone. On the side right here, you can see that, this one is the base model. So here is, I believe, where the heated seats or heated steering wheel button would probably be. And above that, you have your traction control. The cool thing about this button is it can kind of switch between the different driving modes of the car. If you press it once and don't hold it, it goes into sport mode, where I believe it turns off traction control. The second mode you can go into is pressing and holding it for 5 seconds, which will change and turn off your stability control, which I'll show you in the center dash in a moment when the car is on. And that'll turn off the traction control, it'll turn off the stability control, and they say it's intended for track purposes, but that's actually the mode that I stay the most in. So I did want to show you guys what the dash looked like when you're going through the different modes. This is what it's normally in, or I guess what they would call the eco mode. When you go ahead and push this button once, you will see that you're now in sport mode. And you can see right at the bottom over here that the traction control is turned off. And if you get this button and you hold it for a few seconds, you will see that these bars will light up across. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Electronic stability control is off and traction control is off. So this is essentially like the track mode. So I guess there is less abruption of torque vectoring, and you're basically all on your own. You have full control now. Something cool I also noticed is about the side mirrors. They do have a little section in the top right corner, which can also help you in, looking for your blind spot. You do have this both on the passenger and the driver side. Another thing I wanted to show you guys was what the visibility of the car is from a driver perspective. You can see that I do have this little segment here that is tinted. Kind of helps when keep the sun out of your eye when it's in the top of your window, which is quite nice. You can see the visibility when I look into the driver's side mirror, when I look into the rear view mirror and how much I see, when I look into the passenger side mirror, and then when I look back for my blind spot on my passenger side, as well as blind side on the driver's side. So a lot of good visibility in this car. I think it'd be really cool to, talk about the seats in this car. This is an ST1 model. It does come with the Recaro seats that are fully cloth. And let me tell you why I chose this one instead of going for the ST2 model, which is partial leather, or the ST3 model that is fully leather. I read a lot about those. My friend had an ST3. I sat in his car, and they were a little too heavily bolstered for my taste. And something I did like about the ST1 being full cloth is, on hot summer days, leather does absorb a lot more heat. So these tend to stay, more temperature stable. As well as the cloth does kind of, less bolstering, more leg room for the back seats. And also the cloth, the way it connects to your clothes, it does keep you in place fairly well, even with the less bolstering. So I didn't think it was necessary to get the ST2 or ST3 model. I'm more in the believer as, I bought this car because of the engine under the hood, how fun it is to drive, the turbo, the low end torque, the good gas mileage. And for a relatively new car, right now it's 2020, this is a 2018, these are going at really fair prices for how much car you're getting. So let's go over the rims and tires. These are my favorite rims that come with the Ford Focus ST. Kind of looks like a snowflake. The premium wheels, you may see them around, or you can Google the picture. That way you can see the difference, but these are my favorite rims. They are 18-inch wheels, and they do come with Eagle F1 asymmetric 2 tires, 235 40R 18s. Very grippy tires for a front wheel drive unibody chassis, handles extremely well. And now that you're looking a little bit closer, you can see how big the front brake rotors are. For a tiny car, lightweight like this car, the brakes are extremely sensitive. I was extremely impressed by the braking capability of this car. So right now we're driving. I just turned on the air conditioning, and I do notice a little bit of the power of the car dampening when the AC is on. I think this is kind of expected of a 4-cylinder turbo car. For example, when I had my Camaro SS, when I turned on the AC, I didn't notice a power fluctuation, but I kind of expected that. So on the dash here, I did find a funny button located right at the center here. And I don't know if you guys ever if this has ever happened to you, but when you GPS to a location you haven't been to and you start getting close, you might turn down the volume so you can see better. I don't know if you guys do that, but I definitely have done that before. And Ford makes it easy for you. So when you turn up the volume, you can turn the sound completely off by pushing this button.
All that and more Monday on The Woody Show.
Quiet.
To our 2020
Not quiet.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
A virtual ticket to be part of.
Quiet. So this button is technically like, the party's over, the cops are here, I don't care where you go, but you gotta get out of here button. I don't know. If you have a different caption for it, put it in the comments below. This car is actually really zippy. It can do 0 to 60 in just under 6 seconds. We have fastest reported times at 5.9 seconds, ranging up to the 6.2 second range, which is really cool for this car. I'm gonna kind of roll into first and do a quick 0 to 60 run for you guys. This does lead me to the end of my review and introduction to my new car. If you've stayed along this far, please like, subscribe, share, put in the comments below any modifications you want me to do to this car. Or if you want me to keep it stock, put your reasons why for keeping the car stock. I'd love to hear your point of view either way. Thank you guys, and until next time, bye everyone.